Good morning, everybody, and Merry Christmas. I cannot believe we are on our last countdown. We have a week, right? A week, 1 week till Christmas. I hope all of you are having great Decembers. Um, Let me get my music off here. I'm going to be playing in the background the whole time, apparently. So welcome to our Posh Pro call today. We are so excited to have Holly Hillyer on with us. She is a social media expert. I'm going to tell more about her in just a second. But before I do that, I want to do a quick intro since we've just started doing these calls and introduce a little bit more about who we are and what we do in our mission. So with that, I'm going to share my screen here. And I definitely think we'll have more people hopping on. And please let me know if any of you had an issue with the Zoom link. I know we did last week, and I know I got one email right before this. So I want to make sure, figure that out before next week for sure. So we are the Posh Pro. We're a sister company of Poshed on the Go. And honestly, we're a technology company, but we are on a huge mission within the beauty industry. So my name is Ruth Schroner. I'm the CEO and founder of this tech company that is truly on a mission to break the status quo in the beauty industry and also the male-dominated tech sector. And I'll tell you a little bit about why. I'm actually not a beauty professional, so I always like to share a little bit about my story as we get started here. But I'm not a beauty professional. And so you might be saying like, well, why are you here? My biggest passion and mission in the world is to help women step into their power, to help women embrace their uniqueness, embrace their gifts, and create a life that they never dreamed possible. And I say all of that because of where I came from and how I started in life. If you get to know me today, you are really not seeing who I was a decade ago or who I grew up as a child, but I came from very humble beginnings, government assistance, all of the things, and we didn't have much growing up. And as I grew up, I did all of the things I thought I needed to do to better my life. And after getting my master's degree, all that stuff, I found that I was still worrying about my career. I was still worrying about raising children as a mom, as a woman who also wanted a career, and balancing those two things and really feeling a little bit stuck in life. Like I thought I did all the things right to have the lifestyle I wanted, to be the type of mom I wanted. And here I was worrying about all of those things. And so a decade ago, I was given an opportunity to partner with a national brand and their wellness technology company. And this opportunity changed my life in so many ways. But the first way was that it gave me the chance to believe in who I was and gave me the chance to dream again. And instead of feeling burnt out in my career choices, I saw for the first time, maybe I could become more, maybe I could do more. It helped me grow my confidence as a female, as a business owner. And then in that, I turned around and I built my own independent business using their technology company. And that's kind of how I fell into creating Posh, because as I was doing this, I was also helping other women build their small businesses online. And I was getting my hair and makeup done all across the nation. I needed it done all the time. And one day I was like, why can't I just get a blowout? I was actually with Holly in Florida as we were hosting a business conference together when I had this thought. I don't know if you know that, Holly, but it was in Florida 2 years ago. And honestly, I looked at the opportunity, I looked at the competition, I looked at the market, and I walked away from it because it made no sense for me, a non-beauty professional, to launch a tech company, which I knew nothing about. It made no sense. Like, why would I risk the life I've built for my family and the stability, the change I've made for my family, and now put all of that back on the line to build something that, for a blowout? And to be completely honest, I did walk away from it for 6 months, but I could not stop thinking about the conversation I've had with my hairstylist of 8 years now, who I love, and just talking about the beauty industry and the disparity in wages from like the beauty industry to, other jobs that are out there. If you compare other jobs that are trade school jobs, mechanic, welder, those industries are making so much more money, right, for essentially the same level of education. The more I thought about it, the more angry I got. And if we look at female career opportunities, beauty industry, teaching, these are all industries that I feel like women have been underpaid, underserved, and underrespected for years. And when I saw this, and I saw that we had the opportunity to essentially kind of build what kind of like the same community and platform of the business that changed my life a decade ago, but for the beauty industry, it all made sense and I couldn't walk away from it. And now we're on a hell-bent mission to change the status quo, to give back to beauty pros, and to empower you all emotionally in your business, in your income, in your flexibility, all the ways. And part of that is a Posh Pro. So that's how I got here. That's why I'm here. And we are truly just getting started. We launched in July with our sister company, Poshed on the Go, which is another side of our tech. We won't talk about that today, but so you know kind of why I'm here in our mission and what we're bringing to life in 2024. This is our second Posh Pro call. And so we'll be hosting more of these on Mondays throughout 2024. Really quick before I go on, I would absolutely love it if any of that resonated with you, if any of that connected with you, if you would scan this code here. We've tried to make it as easy as possible. We know Mondays beauty pros have off, so you can text your friends and say, hey, get on this call. It's not a tax workshop, it's social media. That was last week. We're doing a social media workshop. You should hop on. So if you scan that code, it'll take you to pre-made templates. So you don't have to do any typing. The Zoom link is the same Zoom link. So you should be able to just use that one and send it to that. If we have people hop on at the end, they say that you were referred here by them, we'll do a raffle for a $50 gift card. So let's go ahead and get as many people on this call because we know Holly is going to rock it. With that being said, all of this will be recorded and we'll put it in our community in just a moment. Now, the Posh Pro platform, you might be asking, what is that? What does it mean? What does it do? And we have three different kind of opportunities for beauty professionals in this. One, we are a platform, think of Eventbrite, but specifically for beauty professionals. We saw that there was no one-stop shop for beauty pros to come and find training, whether that be in their backyard or across the country. And so this platform we are building out to allow beauty educators like yourself, so anyone on here, to post their trainings for free. On this platform, we also do built-in marketing with that. And then you as beauty pros who might want to take training can come and find one-on-one advanced training, in-person certifications, technical trainings, conferences, expos, cosmetology schools, all of the things underneath the same umbrella. So this is a free service, free community for you. If you are a beauty educator, you can take advantage of this. We're accepting beta testers right now to have your educator profile on our platform. And if you are using Eventbrite, we can save either you or your students at least 2% on the service fees that Eventbrite charges you. So we're going to save you money or save your students money if they have to purchase a ticket to your event. We also do marketing for this. We have an email list of 30,000 pros nationwide that we're getting ready to tap into that we haven't fully tapped into yet, but in 2024, we'll be rolling out that marketing. And then we have our community that allows you to talk with other pros in the background. We have the virtual trainings, and you also get $10 off your first paid event through Posh Pro if you decide to take a training with any of the pros who are using our platform over there. So I'm going to post this as well. This will go out, but you can click on this and it'll tell you exactly how to become a Posh Pro member, how to post on our training platform. There's a form here that you fill out if you'd like to do that, and also how to share with your network. So if any of those, I know a lot of you do one-on-one training. If any of that resonates with you, this will be going out and you can access all of that. I'm going to do a different share really fast on our platform over here, so you can kind of see what that looks like. And we are just starting to build up the Posh Pro platform on this side of things, but you'll see this here. And we'll also have that broken out with hair, makeup, whatever the industry is. Here's our form to fill out if you're interested in posting your training on there. And then our Posh Pro community, this is where we will have the training posted after the fact as well. So in here is where we post all the videos. They're also on YouTube as well, but we're going to post any files, things like that behind the scenes in here, private group just for beauty educators. All right. And I think that is, again, I'm going to show this one more time. If you scan the QR code right now, we've got some templates you could send to your friends to get them on this call. We are doing a raffle for a $50 gift card to any any place of your liking, so Christmas gifts included. All they have to do is say that at the end of this call, you invited them to join, and we'll get you into that raffle. If there's only one person, well, you win the gift card. It's not the tax workshop, so just change that to social media for me really fast. All right, without further ado, today, I'm still putting December 19th. I had my days mixed up, you guys. I apologize for all the mix-ups today. I'm sure that's probably part of the Zoom link situation. But today we have one of my great friends and also business partners. I've worked with Holly for the past decade. And when we talk about someone who knows how to dominate social media, whether that be for an online business or for brick and mortar, like what you guys are all building with your businesses, Holly knows it all, and she knows it in a way that is easy and simple and duplicatable. So you're not going to have to spend hours and hours and hours trying to do the social media. We know that you're doing hair or nails all day long. You don't have a lot of time for social media, but we also know, and if you don't know this, that Birdie, which is the #1 website for beauty in the entire world, they outrank all of the other ones. Your clients are going to Birdie to search things, to find things. Birdie said the number 2 way for people to find beauty services after friends and family recommendations is Instagram, TikTok, and other forms of social media. This is actually how I found Melissa, my hairstylist I've been with for the past 8 years. And when I traveled across the nation, how did I find my beauty pros for hair and makeup? Instagram. That was where I always went. So she's going to give us all our tips and tricks. I'm going to pass it over to you, Holly, and I'm going to make sure you have opportunity to share your screen if you need. All right.
Yay. Oh my gosh. I am so excited. All right, perfect. I am co-host. So I'm going to share my screen and we will get started. Here we go. Okay. So like Ruth mentioned, we started out kind of in the same little world together and have both expanded as our passions have taken us different places. And my first business was 100% built through utilizing social media. So I moved every 2 years of my life. I moved to France for a year where like my company we didn't have a presence at all. And yet I was able to scale my business past a 7-figure point all through the power of social media. And I became super obsessed with how I could help other women do the same. And so that's what I want to talk to you guys about today is these first 3 steps. This is like the base of really growing and starting to scale your social media to attract your ideal clients. And while my businesses are mainly online, I work with women, like Ruth said, across all industries. And I just Friday had a call with one of my clients. She is a PT, a physical therapist with an in-person practice. And we have scaled and helped her to create some courses and trainings that she's selling online. But her business has doubled. Her in-person business has doubled since utilizing social media. And she now has a wait list of clients. She had a client, she told me on Friday, she has clients, she's on the East Coast. She has clients come in from California because they are like obsessed with her and her knowledge. And so I think sometimes we think that's crazy, who would do that? But when you become that expert, when you're that good, and you guys are that good, we just have to show that to the world. There are no bounds. There are no bounds. And so quick, Ruth introduced me. I like Ruth. I was not going to trade my time with my babies for an office job. And so that was really where I started, was I need something that can help me scale my income, want to be with my kids or more in control of my schedule. My first business, one of the top partners on my team, she is actually a salon owner, and her goal with growing her second business was just she's obsessed with doing hair. She's like, I love it. She owns a salon, but she was like, I will always be there in person, but I will 100% control my schedule because I have set up these systems and these other businesses. And so I think that's, incredible. And so again, my passion is taking these obscure concepts, like how do we grow social media? And we all hear like, how do we make the algorithm happy, right? And I used to be the person who was like, I hate the algorithm. Like, this is so stupid. It doesn't work for me. Like, I can't go viral, and also not understanding the power of going viral in the correct way in my business. And I had all these limiting beliefs around social media. Like we said, it's too time consuming. I can't go viral. There's no way, like, I'm not going to be one of those influencers. That's not my goal. Still not my goal. My goal is to go viral, to bring my ideal clients to me, and to freaking add value to the world in what I'm good at. And so that's what I want to kind of talk about today. And so just so you guys know where I started with social media. So I am a super introvert. I don't like leaving my house. Those of you who talk to people in person every day, I bow down to you. I would be so exhausted by the end of the day. And I think people think, oh my gosh, like you have to be an extrovert to be amazing on social media. And that's just not true. I started my business on Facebook. And so today, while I'm going to talk mostly about Instagram, I want you to know that these things transfer. Okay. And so we'll hit a little bit on both, but I built a Facebook business page to 100,000 followers. And then Facebook business pages kind of like took a nosedive. And I was like, oh, I need to pivot to Instagram. I had 0 followers on Instagram. One of the things I want to say really fast was, this Facebook business pages took a nosedive, and I focused on Instagram, right? But let me tell you, using the methods we're talking about right now, when I stopped focusing on my Facebook, of course, I lost followers. That following went down to about 85,000. And this was summer of this past year. So I was at about 85,000. The methods I'm going to teach you today, I was just sharing my Instagram over to my Facebook. My Facebook business page, no ads, nothing, has grown to now over 130,000. So by 50,000 people, just by sharing my Instagram over there. And so Facebook business pages are not dead. If you have one, this is going to work both places. And so with that business page, that's when my business hit multiple 6 figures, all through Facebook and email funnels. And I then was able to build my Instagram to 40,000 followers. Okay. So this was about 3 years ago. And I kind of hit this ceiling of like, I was posting every single day, literally posting every day, and everything stopped. I was stuck. Like you said, like that 45,000 followers, that was this summer. So like as of 2.5 years ago, I had built to like 40,000 followers, and then I built to like 45,000 in 2 more years. That is painful. That's like, I'm growing and losing, growing and losing. And it was literally the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing again and again and expecting different results. But I was like, someday the algorithm will like me. But I did not understand how Instagram was shifting. And I was just so stuck in my ways that I wasn't willing to change with it. And so of course I didn't grow. And so in April, I adopted this 7-strong social method. We're going to walk through that. My social media grew 20,000 in 90 days. So April to September. I'll tell you, in 6 months, it grew over 75,000. And I also want to preface this because numbers can mean very different things. These are ideal clients. These are people who are literally opting in. So my email list, so these were ideal clients following me. They were giving me their email addresses. And so in this time where my social media grew 20,000 in 90 days, my email list actually grew by 30,000. And your email list is going to be like a money maker as well. And my revenue grew by 25%. So this is where I just think it's really important to understand that, like, I am not here to help any of my clients or help you all hit like some huge numbers that don't actually result in income for you. The point of my business is to help more women make money on social media, not to have some inflated vanity metrics. And so that's what we're going to dive into today is how we do that. So I kind of talked about this, over 100,000 followers on Facebook, Instagram, multiple seven-figure wellness business on Instagram. The 7 Strong business, which we just started, really restarted this past year, is a multiple 6-figure business here in 2023. And we are projected to be a 7-figure business in 2024. And I only tell you that because 7 Strong as well has been built entirely through social media. And I want to point out something as well. So if my first account, right, you're like, well, you had 40,000 followers. You had this really big base to build from, right? And so maybe that's why it was easier for you to grow 70,000 in the last 6 months. And that's not untrue, right? When you have a larger following, people see that and they say, oh, well, okay, you have this trust factor, right? What I want you to also know is that 7 Strong started from like nothing this year. I actually I had hired a social media management agency for it because I was like, I don't have time to do it. And it was crickets. And I was like, well, I am wasting money. So if you've ever hired a social media agency, like, I feel you. And it was crickets. And if you scroll back through my content over on that Instagram account, it's at 7 Strong Co. You'll see where like you can literally see where I started taking over the account. But I went from 0 growth to growing. I grow now between 50 to 100 new ideal client followers per day. So no, that's not thousands per day, but are you kidding me? On a very small brand new account to grow 100 ideal clients a day, that's a huge, huge number. It's also allowed me to scale my email list. And so let's dive into this, but I just wanted you, if you're like, well, you already had a big account, this won't work for me. It will work for you. It will 100% work for you because it's working on my small account as well. And so 3 secrets we're going to go over today. 1, understanding your market. 2, really diving into your ideal client. This is so, so important. And then 3, we're going to talk about your micro niche, your value add content, which is like where social media has really, really shifted in the past year. So the first thing, let's just talk about our market really fast. And so if you have never really, if you haven't really utilized social media, and I'm sure you guys understand your market pretty well, but I would do market research on the platform that you are building on. So we'll just use Instagram for today, just because that's where I have grown most of mine. And then it's kind of been pushed over to Facebook as well. But looking at, okay, this is my business. So one of my clients, she does at-home spray tans. And she was like, how do I like scale this on social media? So the first thing that we did was we just started searching for other people who were providing spray tans. She wanted to really be in a high tier, kind of her ideal client was someone who was willing to spend larger amounts of money, right? She was not looking for like the bargain spray tan. She wanted, it's a vibe. She's a vibe. Like when you go get a spray tan with her, or when she comes to you, she's coming in like looking really good in her heels. It's a whole experience when you do it with her. Like there's champagne. And so she was like, okay, who else is providing this like higher tier level of service within the spray tan market? And then she started looking at, this is step 2. When I say, how is the competition providing value? I mean value on social media. So this has been a really big change with Instagram. Is it used to be very like, look at me content, right? Like, here's my life. Look how great look how great I am. And while there's still plenty of that out there, the way you grow quickly in 2024 is going to be saying, how do I give my ideal client value so that when they come to my account, because this is the first thing your ideal client's asking, is what's in it for me? Why would I follow them? Why would I follow them? And so for her, when we looked at her in-person spray tan business, some of the value that she provides is talking about like the prep. So how do you get that, like the perfect glow? So, and she changes this a little bit seasonally. So she will be, how are you getting that perfect spray tan for like your holiday parties? How far in advance do you need to do it? How do you prep your skin, right? And so, and a lot of our content, again, I love hers is super visual. And so it's really fun looking at, as she's talking about the holiday parties and like glowing from the inside without looking like, she's like, I don't want to look like the Oompa Loompa, or I don't need to look like I just came back from like Mexico. I need a really nice natural glow. And so that's her, like a lot of her holiday wording. And then her value around that is how do they get that? And also understanding how working with her is very different than like if you just go in a spray tan booth and cross your fingers that this works, right? And so her expertise is providing value and also setting her apart from anyone else in that industry and local. And then, you know, again, asking, this is step 3, where what is the blue ocean? Meaning, okay, she could step back and be like, there's a million people who do spray tans, or like, you can just go step into a booth, right? Like, how am I different? How am I providing a different level of value? And this is where you like step into you and your vibe. And for her, it really is like, we use custom spray tan a lot. Like this is custom to her clients and their goals. And so, you know, when we were looking on social media, there weren't a lot of people who were actually saying that. They were saying like, I'm going to give you the best one, or, you know, but when she said custom, and when we did that too, one thing that does really well on social media is, in terms of getting your ideal clients to trust you, is testimonials. And so we would pull some testimonials from her clients, and we use testimonials a lot within her stories as well, and then save those as highlights, right? So like clients, but she would show them. And again, she's a vibe. So them at their holiday parties, right? And these women, they looked good. Like they looked really good at their holiday parties, all dressed up. And of course they wanted to take a picture for her because, I mean, you finally get yourself together and you look amazing. And so she's getting these incredible photos of these women looking and feeling their best and glowing from the inside out. And she's saying, this is what I'm able to get you, right? And then summer and spring break, we change that wording. And that's when she's like, you want to look like that sun-kissed bronze, like you just came back from the beach. She's getting testimonials from women like looking freaking amazing at the beach. But these testimonials are setting her up as like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm so terrified of looking like an Oompa Loompa, and look how amazing these women look, right? So as we're going through this kind of this blue ocean piece, I found a lot of my service providers actually get stuck here because they're like, well, I just do hair, or I just do this. But what is it that's going to set you apart? And I know I live in Charleston, South Carolina, and I follow all these influencers, and they of course are tagging their beauty professionals and their hair people. And so many of them are like blonde specialists. And I'm like, I am not blonde, but I really want to go to you. Like, you're so good. They also are all booked out, which on social media, like literally, this has nothing to do with this, but like, if you are, say you're booked out for the rest of December, right? This is such a busy time of year. You should put that. You put booked out, right? Because now people are like, oh my gosh, like she's booked out. This is crazy. You can get, and of course, then like, I want to get on your wait list. Like I just signed for these people's wait list. I'm like, when could I ever get in there? So now, right, this scarcity piece is huge in sales. So even if you're like taking the rest, maybe you're finishing your hair right before the holidays, you're taking 2 weeks off in December, you're still booked out. You're still booked out. And so really trying to get people to use that scarcity piece to be like accepting new clients for my 2024 year, right? For January 2024. So that's just been a really good sales piece for my in-person providers. So this is, and this is just an example, right? When people are like, there's no blue ocean, it's saturated. This is one of my clients, and it's health and fitness, right? How many health and fitness professionals are there? Like 5 bazillion million. And she came to me and she was like, oh my gosh, like it's so saturated. And literally, we honed in on a few things, including hooks, which I'm going to give you some free hooks at the end. So that she said, I've been using the 21 hooks, and again, I'll give you those. But reach is grown by 97% and engagement's up 64. So these are the things that like you may think you're saturated, but this is going to work. And so it's going to start with understanding our market. So more important, I mean, not more important, but the next step is going to be your ideal client. This is huge, right? It's part of your market too. So the first thing that I want you to really ask yourself, and I would really like take time to go through and like journal a lot of this out, because the words that you're using, we're going to be able to use in our content moving forward. And that is how she's going to say, oh my gosh, yes. So when I say like, where's your avatar, or like, where's your ideal client? So your ideal client right now, how is she feeling? So does she, you know, is she, so for the, you know, with the spray tan, it was like, well, my ideal client literally is just scared of like looking like an Oompa Loompa and being orange. Like she just needs someone to make her look good. So, and with confidence. So for her person, we wrote down all the things that they were feeling: fear, nervousness. And then we wrote down like where they wanted to be, right? How did they want to feel? Confident. Like where are they now that they would hire you to get them where they want to be? So you are that middle, you're that vehicle that's going to serve as their solution. And oh my gosh, I just saw Ruth's comment. So if you guys have products, and we'll get into that as well. I mean, yeah, we'll get into that in the next step, but products and selling products on social media is going to be huge. So maybe if I'm thinking of like products, right? Like my pain point every summer is that like humidity kills my hair. I have like very straight hair. It's only very straight because it's not humid right now in Charleston, and otherwise I look like a crazy person. If you told me that you had products that could help keep my hair straight and not be affected like by the humidity, right? Like actually style my hair and walk out the door and have it stay exactly the same, I would buy those from you in an instant, in a freaking instant. Or if you are telling me that you have eyelashes that I can put on in, okay, so where am I currently? If I was saying like, well, eyelashes take too long to do, I don't know how to do them. My fear is that like, I'm going to get glue in my eyes, right? So you can take all of those fears and you could literally create a piece of content around that is like, here's my 3 steps to flawlessly applying eyelashes without XYZ. Right? Without, you know, glue mishaps. I don't know. Right. But whatever the fear is, that objection is, that's going to make a really good hook for you. So when we talk about like hooks, what I love to do is to understand where my avatar is and what she wants, understand how all her objections. So I know where she is, where she wants to go, and her objections to my products. And then I can very, very easily say, I'm going to help you do XYZ. And normally the hook is that attention grabbing thing that's like, hold on, wait. So I'm going to help you apply your lashes in less than 60 seconds without the messy glue, or without, you know, compromising your current lashes. Right? So the without is you're going to attach that objections. That objection is going to be huge. So, and oh my gosh, yeah, nail techs What do clients hate about getting their nails done? For me, I'll tell you, why do I hate going to get my nails done? It takes forever. I'm like, this takes so long. Like, how can you be like, that you could tell me I'm going to help you XYZ. And then my other objection is like, my other concern is, yeah, it's going to mess up my nails. So you're going to say something like, how you help your clients, get the perfect nails in X amount of time without damaging their real nails. So without damaging their real nails, if that is a huge objection of your people, like that, just like hit on that again and again. So I'll give you my example for my health and fitness business. My people, they want to lose weight. Okay. That's the end goal, right? My avatar currently, she needs to lose baby weight. Where she wants to be, she wants to weight off. She wants to lose like 10, 15 pounds. Okay. My solution is nutrition. The objection that I hear all the time is I'm not willing to be on a diet, or I'm not willing to like give the foods that I love, not willing to feel restricted. So I create content that says, I'm going to help you lose 10, I'm going to help you lose the baby weight without giving up desserts. So what I did is I said, here, I'm going to help you hit your goal without, and I overcame the objection of like dieting. So that, if you can put those two things together, stick that objection on the end, you're going to grab their attention quickly. And you're going to like literally, if you can overcome that objection in every piece of content, they're going to buy from you so much more quickly, like huge. All right. Let's talk micro niche, because that goes into that. So I'm sure you guys have heard like niche, right? So micro niche, it combines with that avatar piece. And this is what is going to change your social media. So you have to know your market, because and the avatar to actually even speak to them in the content. And then the micro niche piece is what's going to be kind of visible within your feed. And so the first thing where I go again is what do you offer? So let's go back to health and fitness. So from a very high level, what do I offer? Well, I help women lose weight through fitness and nutrition. Okay, those are kind of the two branches that I have. We need to go deeper. So previously you could post your workouts, you could post some recipes, you could kind of post both and it would be fine. Doesn't work in 2024. Doesn't mean that it's not part of my full solution. It doesn't mean it's not part of my full offering. What it means is that my social media needs to focus on one. So I dug down into nutrition. So from there, when I say, can you go 7 layers deep? I want you to keep asking that question. Like, okay, so how could I provide value? All right. I'm fitness and nutrition. How can I provide value? I'm going to pick nutrition. Okay. How? Well, I could do meal plans. I could do recipes. I could do, and this is where this value piece comes in. What is in it for them? What can I give them? We have to pick one. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to give them value in terms of recipes. Why did I pick recipes? This is where it attaches back to that market research. When I was researching all of my like other people in the industry, I don't even like to call them competitors because we find our own blue ocean, right? But I was researching other women who were crushing it on social and going viral again and again. They were doing recipes. And so I was like, okay, obviously the market is asking for that and they're responding to that right now. So I'm going to do recipes. Then I went back to the avatar piece, right? So I connected it back to the market piece. Now I'm connecting back to the avatar piece. And I said, all right, what is that limiting belief? What objection can I overcome? And so again, that objection was, I don't want to diet. So I went from, I give fitness and nutrition to I'm just going to do nutrition to I'm going to provide recipes because that's what the market is asking for to now I'm going to provide dessert recipes because they overcome the objection that you must be on a diet, that you can never enjoy foods, that you must have restrictions. And so when I overcame that objection, I was like, okay, that's where I can stop. And so if you can dig deep into that, that's where you're going to find, it's going to become easy to create content and create these content plans because you know the one piece of value you're really providing again and again and again. Now, getting there may not be easy. And once you get there, you may be like, but aren't I just saying the same thing again and again? And yes, you are. And again, this is why it becomes so easy, right? So what have I done since the summer? I've just provided a ton of dessert recipes. Now, let's talk about creating the content, because I actually don't even like to cook. Like I'm not gonna be in my kitchen cooking recipes every day, right? Like I said, we're all busy. I have 3 kids and 2 businesses, so I don't have time for that. So what I do is when I create my content plan, I know I'm gonna do like 2 recipes per week. So I've got those 2. I also know, and these are always reels. So if we talk about like the content that is going to reach the most number of new eyes, it's going to be reels right now, 100%. It's still reels. I know people are like, reels don't get pushed out as much. Like it is still reels that are getting pushed out to the new eyes the most. After that, I do a carousel. So I do 2 reels and then a carousel. So my carousel is more of some like high protein kind of meal plans, but all my recipes are also high protein. So that's where the high protein connects. And at the end, I always say, and I finish these meals with a healthy, high protein dessert. So I'm always bringing those back together. The carousels, just so you know, your carousels will reach more of your current followers. So this is where you're going to get to serve those current followers. So when creating content, you can kind of think of like, well, what are the 2 different people need? So then from there, I want to repurpose content. So I'll give my top 3 favorite cookies. Okay, great. Let me go pull 3 of those that I've already done and I just combine it into one. So how can you combine some of your old content into one? And yes, that takes some like creating the content in the beginning, but that repurposing is really great. And then behind the scenes are so big right now. Like B-roll footage, right? Your behind the scenes footage. And this is where like as beauty pros, like you guys, you have the best. For me from the outside, I'm like, I want to watch what you're doing. Show me how you do it. And this does not mean a full tutorial, right? Full tutorials are more time consuming. I mean, set your phone up for 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 6 to 7 seconds. It's all you need while you are cutting someone's hair, while you're washing someone's hair, while you're doing someone's nails, while you're doing, eyelashes, while you're doing skincare. I know I'm work with my Botox clinic. They're amazing. And they're like, well, I can't really show myself putting Botox in. And I was like, why not? Ask your clients. And they've started doing it and it's kind of further away, but they also have some that are very close up and they just give like which I will say, because they were like, we can't do that. Like it's too close. People are too squeamish. No, people want to see it. They want to see the like dots on the face, all the things we all want to know. And so they do, so you could do like that behind the scenes, which again, set 6, 7 seconds. And then like you can put, whether it be value on it, whether it be something, this is the other piece of it. If you're doing a reel, you don't have to have a ton of value, like actually in the reel. You can also point them down to the caption. So if these are your secrets to, how you make sure you get the perfect blonde that's like not brassy, right? Then, and again, this is where sometimes when I talk to my students, but they're like, but I don't want to give like my secrets away. I'm like, no one's at home doing their own hair. They're looking to you to be the expert. They want you to tell them why you're the expert and these steps that are going to just help gain that trust. And so just saying, POV, because POV reels are very popular too. So you got your 7 seconds for your reel, you washing someone's hair, doing the foils, whatever. POV, you want the perfect blonde for the holiday party, right? Or like what is a point of view? POV, you want your perfect blonde for the holiday party. And then like you could even give tips for like how they can keep their color like looking best after they leave you, right? So tips for making your color look longer, tips for keeping your blonde from going brass when you get home. And like if those tips then lead them to your products, even better, right? So Okay, great. I'm going to find people in person because they now see me as like the blonde expert. And I'm going to sell people who maybe can't come to me. I'm going to sell them my 3-step regimen for keeping their blonder longer. Or I'm like, what products can you sell them to help them keep their solution the best for the longest amount of time, because to save money, right? So a lot of my people are like, I want to save money. So how am I going to help them save money? That's another thing, right? So it goes back to the avatar. What's their objection? What's their concern? If they want to make sure, okay, I'm going to pay you top dollar. How do I make sure? And that's with the at-home spray tan. That's one thing she does a lot too, right? Like, hey, look, I'm going to help you now take this amazing spray tan and make it last as long as possible. And here's how you can do it. And of course, she has additional lotions and guides too, right? I'm going to give you your free guide to making it last longer. All of those things set her up as an expert and set her up to then sell more products down the line. And so that's really important as well, is here's how I'm going to find my in-person people. They're going to come to me because I'm an expert, but I also have additional products that I can sell. So one of the things, before I go on as well, actually we'll move on, and then because I know I'm going to talk to this. So this is someone, again, that she did, this is like just getting started. But this was just some of her like accounts reached, accounts engaged, total followers. And again, this account started with less than 10,000 followers. So I just want you to realize, like, this was, gosh, we had been doing this. Well, I mean, this is a 30-day snapshot. So we've been working together for like less than 30 days. So less than 30 days of making these small changes. And like, this is how quickly the algorithm will respond to you, right? So being stuck between 11.8, 11.9 followers for 3 years, here we go. It's grown 710 days. So I want, like, I know that some of this may seem like basic or almost like tedious sometimes, right? Like, but how do I do this? When you sit down and like take the time to really dig into, here's my micro niche, here's my avatar, and here are the paths I'm taking her down to work with me, it will change your social media, and it will change it very, very, very quickly. And so one of the things that I want you to understand is how we're reaching people. So obviously Reels are huge. So when people click on that Reels tab and they scroll, you are going to be pushed out within the Reels tab. Now, one thing to also keep in mind is that Instagram, okay, hashtags, all those things, I get asked about that all the time. Fine, use hashtags. They're not going to hurt you. Like, hashtags don't hurt you. But Instagram is now really like an SEO-based search engine. So one of the things you really want to think about, this is where it's important to know your market, your avatar, their pain points, like what they're searching for, is that the words you type are the words that are going to make you come up in the Reels tab, in that homepage reach. So if I was like Holly Hillyer, like blonde specialist, if someone is searching like blonde specialist, I will come up, right? You need to understand, what is that micro niche? It needs to be that where your name is, or whatever it may be, the bold title right underneath your photo, that is a highly, highly ranked searchable SEO field. So put your name, because when you show up in their inbox, it'll say your name, right? Or put your company name. But after that, if your ideal client was searching for you, what would they search? And you want to use that. And you want to make sure you're repeating your terms again and again, like within your caption. So your caption is really important. Also, within your reel, what you write on the reel, Instagram is pulling that and using that as SEO searchable data. So what you write anywhere within the Instagram app is actually going to help push you out to the Explore page, push you out in your homepage reach, and push you out in Reels from the Reels tab. So your content, the point is, we are busy. And if we can produce one piece of content that can result in clients buying from us, like that's the goal. And so here's what I want to share how this works, right? Because right now we really just talked about the content piece. Because again, it all has to start there. If we're not producing content that Instagram pushes out, if we're not producing content that our ideal follower says, yes, like our ideal client says, yes, that's valuable to me, then none of the rest of this matters. So we have to start with that content strategy, move that to post, and then so much selling like happens within stories as well. So if you can share a little bit of your behind the scenes in stories, if you are in the salon and you are in between clients and you can share some sort of almost like a testimonial, but oh my gosh, I was just working, with this client. She came in with XYZ problem. Here's what I did. And here's how she left feeling. Like, that's huge. And they don't even need to give you the testimonial. You can literally share how they came in, what their problem was, and how they left you. And then be like, I have 3 spots left in December for clients. If you're interested, DM me. Or this is where automations come in, and this is like the next level. But this is where I want all my clients to get, is that we're creating incredible content on Instagram. I know you guys have seen people say like, comment, hooks, and I'll send you my free hook guide. It's all automated through ManyChat, which is another product, which again, like, you don't need right away. I am here to help women grow their social media without spending a ton on a bunch of extra stuff. But what I want you to watch is, as you identify that ideal client, as you identify that micro niche where you are going to stand out as an expert, I want you to create some sort of reason that someone would DM you. So create an opt-in that could be, my guide for keeping your hair blonder, and keep your hair from turning brassy, right? Whatever it may be. My guide to making your lashes last longer, right? Whatever you do, we're going to provide them step 1 of value in that post. Step 2 is going to be kind of the next level value, and you're going to give them some sort of free opt-in. And the reason we're going to do this is because we want to start collecting email addresses. And I know this is like literally, even if you're like, listen, I'm not selling anything online. Why do I need email addresses? Because if we are emailing these people who could become our potential clients, we are able to email them any openings we're having. We are able to email them, this is you becoming like one of their like besties in the business world, or in the beauty world, right? Like, oh my gosh, she's the person I trust. She's who I'm going to go to. And so if you're emailing them, and this could be as simple as, there's an incredible article that you found that's like, hey, I just found these tips on XYZ, and you send it to them just like you would send it to a friend. You now are giving them more value, right? That is any sort of value that we can continue to give people, so we can continue to show up in their inbox so they know, like, and trust us more, is going to be huge. And then if you do have those products you can sell online, we're able to fit those in. So I do a weekly newsletter for my 7 Strong business. And in that, at the beginning is normally just like a personal story. So anyone can do a personal story, right? That relates back to your business and maybe a problem that ideal client's having. And then I love to share like 3 to 5 of my like favorite things for that week. And they are across the board things, but one of them is always something that's connected to a way that I can earn income. So one of them, it could even just be an Amazon link to the favorite like business book that I'm reading right then. And even if it is a small commission, it's still extra income and it's value for my ideal clients. So starting to think, how can I start monetizing that email list, and really monetizing apart from just my online presence. So, and yeah, like Ruth said, there's a million hacks. You don't have to create a ton of stuff. This is really asking, like, what do I already have in place? You guys are experts already. You probably have most of this. So that's huge. So I use my content strategy, getting my posts super micro niche, knowing that I'm going to have them comment one keyword. I'm going to send them that opt-in, that free piece of value. And then I am going to add them to an email list or sell to them through stories or sell, provide affiliate links within that email. And truly, that is how I've grown and scaled just this, like literally producing one piece of content on social media that gets people to opt in, that allows me to sell to them. And so, oh yeah, this is Rachel, we had her, and here's the other piece. So some of my clients, most of them, I tell them, just like I told you, you know what, you don't need to buy mini chat right now. There's also a free like trial of it you could use. But when you go viral, we want to make it so that we can like just turn it on, right? So that when you are viral and you have people commenting, hair secrets, that we easily can connect it to mini chat, and we have those emails that we can connect, so you can start earning income without doing anything else. The point of going viral is to literally find your ideal clients and to be able to sell to them. And so I wanted to give you guys, I have one of the pieces. So if you go to 7strong.com/100 hooks, this is just my 100 hooks that are working like right now. And again, with social media, and this is where it's like create 6 to 7 second reels, like making them super fast is so powerful right now, but you have to be able to gain people's attention. So these hooks they're kind of like the fill in the blank. So they're good for any industry. They're good for in person. They are good for, you can use them for whatever, but that right now, again, as we're in 2024, hooks are more important than ever, because people spend like you've got maybe 2 seconds to get someone's attention, maybe 2 seconds. And so the hook isn't there. The hook meaning like, this is why I'll stay and consume your content. And again, this is what's in it for me. It's always what's in it for me. And it sounds like a really selfish way that people are consuming social media right now, but we're all busy. And so if someone's scrolling, you must make them stop their scroll. And that's where 100 hooks comes into play. And you're able to just layer those on top of your content. So for me, I'm putting a hook that stays up there for about 1.5 seconds, maybe 2 seconds, depending on how long it is. The hook comes down, and then the next piece is the value piece. Maybe stays up for 1.5 to 2 seconds. And that could stay on depending on how I do the reel. And then after that comes more details in caption. So I've got a hook, I've got value, and then I'm directing them down to the caption. Or if I'm not directing them to caption, I'm saying comment 100 hooks for your free hook guide. And so I'm having them comment, which is sending them an opt-in, or directing them down to the caption where I'm having them comment, and more value. And the beauty in this, again, if we're playing with the algorithm a little bit, is I put a ton of value in the caption. I like to give them a million things to read through. The algorithm loves this because they're spending more time on our content. While they're reading your caption, your reel is looping. So it's telling the algorithm like, oh, they've watched this reel again and again and again and again, which is helping to push your content out to more people. And again, making the algorithm happy. So this is where these like faster reels, people have that's why we've kind of shortened the time for reels. Now it's not true for every single one. The other type of reel that does really well right now, and again, it needs to start with a hook because you got to get people listening, is you just talking to the camera. So I did one, I think yesterday, where I talked to the camera for almost 90 seconds. That is very, very long for a reel. So I need to make sure I am giving super valuable tactical info that entire time. But if you wanted to do something where you're talking to the camera, you're showing up as that expert, you are giving them deep dives into information, that's a really great way to do it. And again, if they watch it for the full 90 seconds, you've just told the algorithm this is insanely valuable because that person sat there and listened to you. And all of this, so an important thing that I teach in my 7 Strong Society, we have a monthly membership where we just chat all things social media. But in there, we look at data. And so I didn't even go into the like looking at data part, but I would suggest that you are either a creator or a business account if you're not already, because you can start seeing your data. And so one piece of this was yesterday, and I haven't even looked, it hasn't been 24 hours since I posted that reel, was I'm going to go into my data and you can see watch time. So I can see how long people watched. Did they watch just the first 5 seconds, right? When maybe I caught their attention, they're like, yeah, no, not valuable enough. Did they watch 60 seconds? Did they watch 90 seconds? It's going to tell me how valuable my content was to my audience. And it's going to allow me to slightly pivot things. And this is where, as we're creating content, it's really, really important to also be looking at the data. And so one of the things that I wanted to offer you guys, I asked Ruth, I was like, Ruth, can I offer this? Because we've never offered this before. And my husband is my tech guru. And I was like, David, can you help me put this together somehow? He's like, sure. So one of the things I wanted to offer you guys, the 7 Strong Society, literally for $1 for the next 30 days, or for 30 days access to the 7 Strong Society, and just little bit about it. So, if you're like, yes, like, you know what, I need to utilize social media. If you're like, this is going to be part of my plan for my business the next year, we do monthly content plans. So similar to my 100 hooks, there's 30 days every single month of like, okay, here's 30 days of content ideas, and they're fill in the blank, right? So you take them, you combine that with your micro-niche and your market. I do live personalized Instagram audits. So I think these are super valuable. If you go in, you start updating your Instagram, you're like, hey, Holly, can you audit this? And we do live audits together where I pull up your Instagram. I do live Q&As, live social media trainings. We have monthly social media trainings because we all know social media is changing really quickly. And we're really you guys know Ruth's passion and my passion is helping women like actually figure out how to make social media work for them. And that's what we get to do in there. And then again, it's a community of women really growing businesses. And this is growing businesses across all fields. So if you guys are interested in checking that out, it's 7strong.com/society trial. And again, this is 30 days from whenever you start it for $1. And there's a lot of goodness in there. I'll tell you guys, if you go to our mastermind section, when you join, the very first mastermind call that I did was a social media training, and it's an hour, and it's similar to this, but like we dive even deeper past these 3 steps in there. So if you're that's where I would probably start. When you join, you'll get a full 90-day guide that tells you like how to navigate it. So we're making sure you're utilizing it the best. So I would love, if we have time, Ruth, I would love if people have like questions. These are just some testimonials. But if you guys have questions about your accounts or anything, I know some people are like, I'm working, but I'm listening in. So if there's any questions, we can ask them now, or you guys can always, if you go over to 7 Strong Co, you can DM me over there, because that's what I'm here for, to answer questions. So Ruth.
Thank you so much. Yes. Okay. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to, I believe you guys can unmute yourself and chat those in. Also, I know she just packed in so much information. I put her Instagram, so go click on her Instagram is in the link. Go give her a follow, give her a shout out for being so amazing and giving us all of this content today, and for the free hooks she's going to send out to us. And then I love the $1 option as well, because I think if you guys are like me, sometimes you get things for free and you don't. I'll never forget my mother-in-law giving me like a free sample of vitamin C like years ago, and I didn't ever use it. And now I'm like, I just didn't understand the value of it. Now that I buy vitamin C serum all the time, I always think back to that. So I'm a big advocate of like having those low price options. So you do have to buy in. Otherwise you're like me and you just wasted this like essentially $12 bottle of serum that's like this big because I didn't get it. So go give her a shout out, give her a like, give her a follow over there. Okay, I'm going to chat this in because I want to go over, oh shoot. I'm not going to chat it in. I thought I was going to. I want to kind of show you guys some examples too of what Holly was talking about. But as I'm pulling these up, anyone on the call, if you already know, and I'm very serious, and I know sometimes it's hard to wrap our head around, like, there's no way I can build a full client base on my dream client or my dream service, right? Sometimes that feels very extreme to think like, oh, I could really be doing exactly what I love every single day, that one service, and not have to do, you know, all the other services that you just kind of get through to fill your books. But one, you could be doing that service, and two, you could be charging for it the price you should be charging for it. And so before I even, if you know what that is, chat it in or chat in any of your questions.
Pricing piece that Ruth just mentioned too, like when you become an expert in your like online, like there's just such clout with having this larger following that's going to allow you to charge more. So Ruth, I'm so glad you brought that up too, because you can really increase your prices.
And I think one of the beauties of me not actually being a beauty professional, I always say like, I'm your guys' ideal client. Like I've been with Melissa, my hair girl, for 8 years. And I keep saying like, I drive an hour and a half round trip to see her. I also own a mobile beauty company, but I like cannot quit her. So like 8 years, I have seen her almost every 6 weeks. But I think one thing too is very important. And if you guys were on our money mindset call, we did like way earlier on in the year, you cannot think with your own pocketbook, right? You cannot think like, well, who's going to fly me to Mexico to do makeup or hair for their wedding? You cannot think anything like that. And I would have thought like that previously, but I was thinking from my own pocketbook. And there's this whole world of women out there who are paying for that traveling glam squad, or they are taking that glam squad to their destination wedding. Or even like Holly and I's industry, you guys, why literally Poshed is here. We had women who would bring a Posh team in, or not a Posh team, their own glam squad into these conferences every year to do hair and makeups for 4 nights a week. And they would be doing hair and makeup on, I don't know, 15 women every single day in a hotel room. So you cannot think with your own pocketbook on any of this stuff.
Yeah. And I think, you know, this industry, like, I mean, getting married or these big events, like where we're speaking on stage in front of like 20,000 people, like I don't trust some random person that like is in some city. Like I would want to fly my person with me. Like that, these huge events, like that trust is so big.
So, and the other thing is, rumor has it that, and correct me if I'm wrong, beauty pros, January is kind of a slower season in the beauty professional world. And then if you've just moved somewhere, right, you're coming from another city and you're essentially rebuilding your client base, your job is to create more clients. That is the job. So it's not like, oh, I've got nothing on the books today, I'm not going to do anything. It really should be like, I'm using now my business hours to figure out a marketing strategy or plan, social media included, to help fill all of my books, right? So just because your books aren't filled, it doesn't mean, if you want to treat it like a business, it doesn't mean just like, oh, sit back and watch TV all day. It should really mean you're either using social media or going door to door or passing out referral cards. There are a million ways to do this, not just social media, but social media is such an amazing technology at your fingertips.
And also, I didn't mention it, but the in-person, making sure in your Instagram profile, like where your name is, like not just like blonde specialist, but like Charleston blonde specialist. So put your city in there because that is huge for like for searchability. And the blonde specialist here, I was just on her account because I love it and it's beautiful and she does a great job on blondes. And she now is booking for Charleston and New York City. And so she was like, I love going to New York. And so she's starting to take clients in New York, and she's like fully booked for Charleston, but open in New York. And it's very interesting watching her grow there as well. But she's very clear on who she's serving and where she's serving them. And those people are coming, a lot of them are coming because of those search terms.
Yep. All right. So I want to share, I pulled up some of these Instagram beauty pros things so you guys can kind of see it. And if you did have something specific you want me to pull up, let me know. Okay. Can you see my page? So first, we're actually going to start with Melissa, because I think it's just like, this is actually my girl who I've went to for 8 years that I found on Instagram. She was working in a salon at the time, but I followed her 45 minutes south, which is insane, to keep doing her hair, or so she could keep doing my hair. And I know her books are usually very, very full. So I think seeing that she only has 1,500 followers, but her goal is to just maintain her full calendar. That is her goal. So you don't have to have the goal of wanting to sell stuff online or travel. That doesn't have to be it. But if you do have that, you want that passive income through sales, we'll get there in a second too. That's possible. But I'll show you Melissa's. But we've talked about this before. She's like, I always do like a just so like people can see about my life every like 5 or 6 posts, right? But other than that, it is straight up, she does lots of blonding. So she says extension lover, low maintenance color supporter, up here. So you can see right away, she has her booking site too. But all of her posts, and why I chose her was because I was looking for hair extensions 8 years ago. And so I was actively seeking out someone to do extensions for me. And so her posts are typically extensions. Here we go. She did a color here, but that's a really pretty, like, that is an amazing job. But especially there was another extensions one. Puppy is so cute. But you can just kind of see how basic her posts are, but people are coming to her for those specific things. So they're coming for the blonding. They're coming for the extensions. For a while, it was like all straight up extensions on her Instagram, you know? And so she might've changed and said, I want to do more blonding. Like, I'm tired of just doing extensions. Right. And then she changes her niche a little bit. But I do think it's important to know, what do you want to attract? Because you will attract that. I went to her for extensions because at the time her feed was all extensions 8 years ago.
Can you scroll back up to her bio?
Yeah.
So like super fast, like this, and this is kind of what we do like in our Instagram audits. So after her name, if like, let's go back to like, okay, she's extension expert, like it would be Melissa Bullard, like extension expert. And she could even put like, you know, Kansas City extension expert, whatever. And then I would change that extension lover to expert, low maintenance color supporter. That's super amazing, right? 319 salon suites. Again, I would move that to like your city, right? Because when people come to you on Instagram, that means nothing, but your city, if they're like, ooh, like that could be good. But Ruth's right. Like, I think just really highlighting, like, I am the extensions person. You see Melissa, you see that it says extension expert, and you scroll down and like, this is where I get sucked into scrolling people's feeds. And this is where thinking like, how do I create binge worthy content? Like you click on one and it's like, oh my gosh, this amazing extension before and after. And you scroll and you see that again and again and again. You're like, okay, she's my extension person. But like, it's that simple. And yeah, like your content doesn't have to be difficult.
Yep. And I'll tell you what Melissa does. She has a spot. It's like truly like right outside of her suite. And she's like, okay, let's take a before picture. We take 2 seconds. We take a before picture. She'll do like 2 pictures, and she has it down to a science, right? So it takes 2 minutes. And then she'll do a video with it as well. So that way it's just done and done. And she can create these like very quickly the next time. Ooh, you said something about the expert too, the extension lover versus expert. That's actually a great point. As a client looking at things, if I see something that says expert, it automatically means I expect you to charge more, and I'm shopping with you because I expect expert and I expect to pay premium. So that right there allows you to charge more money, like in my opinion. If you are saying specifically like, this is what I do, I'm the best at this thing. Okay. So that's why in the chat thread, I think I said like, what is your ideal service that you love doing? And maybe you're not charging a lot for it now, but as you begin to build this credibility, right? And people come to you have all these people seeking you out for that one or two things that you love, you will be able to charge more because you're going to start seeing, oh man, I'm getting all these bookings. Like maybe it's even too many. How do you weed some people out? You up your prices, right? And that weeds out your people who aren't willing to pay that premium anymore, as long as you've shown that you're the expert. I'm going to go to Kevin. Kevin's one of my makeup artists I've had for years. How do I not follow her? Probably I follow her on all my other pages. But I think the thing with makeup artistry is the exact same thing, like niching down. So I'll see people say up here, they'll be like, I've seen it recently. What is it? Natural makeup specialist. Is that what they say? You guys know your terms, but, or maybe it's like stage makeup specialty or videography, video makeup, film makeup, right? Whatever it is, you really have to start thinking about what is that one thing, assuming you do want to niche down into one thing, right? Otherwise, we can see here, she does all types of it. And it is super simple, right? She's doing her before and after. Her and I have talked about this. She doesn't do any Photoshop on it, which I appreciate. I hate that with makeup. Like you should not be Photoshopping your makeup pictures. That's false advertising in my opinion. But you can see all she does here is just her simple before and after. And so how I decided to use her was I was just looking at her before and after. Now, if she wanted to take this, like Holly said, to the next level, maybe start selling products online, right? She could be doing like a reel that says my favorite primer that helps your makeup stay all day. Or if you wanted to do destination and you're talking about like traveling, right? It could be, here are my top 3 makeup tips for humid Mexico weather, getting your makeup to stay, I'm just spitballing this, but what are those tips for those humid places, those humid destination weddings people are going to, that they want their makeup to stay on all day for this destination wedding? Like, what are those different makeup techniques you're going to use, or primer or setting or whatever it is, to keep that in that humidity of where they're traveling to? Thinking about where they're traveling or what they're doing, or maybe it is the stage makeup, how to make sure you get flawless stage makeup for your next speaking presentation, right? One time I went up on stage, it was my biggest stage moment. I'm still pissed off about it. 30,000 people in the Superdome Stadium, and I looked like a drag queen, and I was so pissed off. I'm still angry every time I see those effing photos. Like, oh, there was such terrible makeup. But that person advertised themselves very well online. I will say that.
I just want to add, I think that we forget like how much of an expert we really are when it's something we do day in and day out. Like I am not a makeup person at all. And I'm like too busy to even research it. Like I just need someone to just tell me. So if I came to this account, I'm like, okay, her people look beautiful. And like, she took her from like shiny to like, she'd like, I'd be like, okay, tell me what makeup to use. Just tell me. And I'm just going to buy it. Because I think sometimes we forget, because it's what you do every day and you're so good at it. But like, there are people like me who just need someone to tell them what makeup to buy and make it really easy for them to buy it. And then I can like move on with my life.
Yes. So I was actually just thinking that because Kevin did my makeup last week, and I was like, damn, I should have like asked her what she was using, because it looks so great. And then, and I do think this is, as women, sometimes we fear this idea of sales. I know I did that for the longest time. I felt like so bad if I was selling something, but now I was thinking for my own pocketbook back then, right? And also my own mindset, my limiting money beliefs, which we're going to have a call on that in 2024. But really, as a client, and I know I've said this to you guys before, I actually kind of get annoyed when I'm not sold to, because I do want to spend money on this stuff. And like, I want the best stuff. So please save me my time. My time is more valuable than anything else. And so once you begin to attract clients like that by what you're posting, it's very important that you're servicing them in that area as well. So they know like, oh, thanks, I just sat in your chair, and now I also walked out with all the stuff that I no longer have to like worry about going to get somewhere else. Or if it's the right stuff, because they just gave me a full-on console of every product I should use for my hair and my makeup. So please don't think of sales as bad. You have the right client. It should be education. Like, I'm educating you on the primer to use for your specific face, right? Like your face is this texture and oily or dry. Like here's the primer that's going to work great for you. Or your hair is, this texture, this whatever. Educating those individuals in that chair, very important. So this person popped onto my feed, y'all. And she is a great example, but I wanted to come back. So toupee queen, toupee artist. And I want to pop back because so her first reel back here, I thought this was interesting. Guys, anyone who does before and after pictures gets a free hair piece and a free service. Come see me. This was 201 weeks ago. I'm going to assume she niched down on this toupee. I got sucked into this the other night. I just thought it was most amazing. I am obsessed with this. I was like, I want to become a toupee queen. I want to be a toupee artist. I can't imagine how these men feel leaving her chair. It makes me so freaking happy for them. But you can see she gets her template down. So she knows what she's doing each time. And it's just bum, bum, bum. There's no creativity, right? It's just she's getting it down and showing people the before and after of this technique. So it's very, very, and everything is can you match a ginger? How much, how long? Everyone is asking, every single one. So she's a great example. And then now she actually sells her courses as well, become a toupee specialist. So you can, I'm should I become a toupee specialist? I don't need another job, but, this artist, I actually don't know her, but I thought it was great. Casey and Destination Makeup Artist right there. Boom. There it is. 24 years in the paint, nationally published, luxury bridal, film, event, celebrity, glam. Casey, take me anywhere. This is a prime example of how to get people to book you for those traveling, for those luxury, for those premium events, assuming, right, you are the caliber and you deliver that service, right? This would never work if she wasn't delivering that type of thing. Makeup, I do feel like makeup is such an easy thing if you're only selling the service. Now, if you want to sell the next level, you want to sell products online, that's a different thing. So I wanted to pull up, let's start with this one. So I thought this one, an SD, so I pulled her up. Number one, SD's skincare is set to go up 38% in the next 10 years. Our Gen Zers right now, those children, essentially those 14-year-olds are already doing a skincare routine. These are going to be your girls who are getting facials, who are diving into this. So there's a lot of opportunity here. I would say for my age range right now, I am not the person who books a facial, but I also think that's because there's no information out there educating us on what they do for you, at all. So I thought this was an interesting feed because she really is talking about, when it's your client's first chemical peel, acne triggering on your dirty phones, she has a naughty and nice list on different things, product ingredients. And so you can kind of see how she is doing the big value add, like Holly was talking about, right? This woman is also, we go up to the top. So she talks about it. And I love it when people do this. I hate it when they do a makeup routine and then they don't share what they're using, which I'm guilty of. But when we go up to the top, she's a head ambassador for all these different companies. So she's making money from her Instagram, from her reels. So this is a totally different income opportunity where you don't have to swap your time for money. And again, if it's a slow season for you as a business owner, it's how do I get either people in my chair or how do I keep income coming in for me without people in my chair? So you can start looking at things like this. And I know Salon Interactive is one technology that allows you to do the whole drop shipping. You don't have to do anything. It's all pro products, but a lot of companies professional companies do have that affiliate link these days. You could also ship it, right? If you want to do your own margins, but I'm not taking anything to the mail, let's be honest. But you can see that here. And then nails, I saw we had at least one nail tech on earlier. So, and I know nails right now, there's a huge push for nail techs. Not only are they doing nails in salon, but they are selling their own press-on nails. And this is such an opportunity. So I looked at Miley's, which I think this is a company that does, but as a nail tech professional who's offering their own press-on nails, Miley would be a great way and great, content creator copy, right? Because they're showing their art, then they're showing the process. They're saying, well, how does it stay on? Why does it stay on? All of those different things. So there's a lot of opportunity here for here as well in regards to your nail techs. Okay, I think those were the big ones I wanted to share. Yeah. Okay. I didn't see any questions. Did I miss any? No one has any questions.
Those examples were so good, Ruth. The toupee queen, also like the personal branding. Like I am the toupee queen. Like freaking, that is like, I mean, micro niche. And I mean, once you get that down, right? She started with in person and then just expanded. Like it's, oh, I'm obsessed with that branding. It's so good. And I will say my esthetician for skincare, you mentioned like, people leaving your chair and wanting to buy the products. I had asked her when I went back to her, I was like, yeah, sorry. Like I moved. And so I was like, now it's like 40 minutes to get to you. And so like, I just didn't get back to the product. And she was like, and I was like, so could I just buy this like online? I know it's not quite the same. And she was like, oh, I'll just ship you the product. She's like, literally email me and I'll ship it to you like the next day. And I was like, really? And I had no idea she would do that. She's like, oh, I ship people things all the time. She was like, it'll take like a day to get to you because you live here. And I was like, that's incredible. And she was like, I won't charge you anything. Like, I'll just ship it to you. And like that value. And I was asking her how to buy from someone online that she was like, I mean, the quality's similar, but like, I'll just do it for you. And now she's making the money instead of some random person online. And I'm so much happier to support her who helps me with my face. So I think too, like that was such a value add to me. And I'm so glad I asked her versus like, she knew I ran out of my cleansing pads and she didn't even like say anything, And so I agree with you. Like any way you can save people time. Like I think we need to start thinking about how we're saving people time, not that, oh, no one has the money for this, right? Like our own money blocks don't need to be applied to our customers. Like I don't need anyone's money blocks being applied to me. I need you to say, here's how I'm going to save you time and make your life easier. And then I get to decide if that's a price I'm willing to pay. But our job is to give our clients results and do it in the least amount of time as possible, the least pain to them. And money isn't pain unless we associate it with it.
Yep. Yeah.
So, yeah.
So do not be afraid. Yeah. I'm always like, why are you not selling me all the things? Because I will buy all the things because like I am the ideal client. Right? And once I already have the thing, I will say I am very product religious to some of like my things now where I'm like, I'm not switching. Like I know my dry shampoo. I know exactly what I use. But like, yes, I'm definitely the same way.
Yeah. And the affiliate marketing too. I mean, it's so huge and you are already an expert in your space. The more you grow your social media, the more of an expert you become. And also one of the things that Ruth, when she pulled up these accounts, if you're looking at your bio, they're putting their specialty first because that we've got to catch people with that specialty. But your second line should be like what qualifies you as an expert. So a lot of these had that, right? 24 years doing this or like, why? So it's like, okay, she's the extension expert. Why do I trust her? Oh, been doing extensions for, a decade in the best extensions, right? Like, so thinking about that too, putting that expert statement in there. So what you do and that the Kansas City, that your makeup artist had like her bio was so good. Like
I'm going to drop that you guys in here. Cause this is a great bio. I don't know this makeup artist, but man, this is a good bio. For sure. I think this is an example of like exactly niching down, knowing what you want, and then playing into that. And then her profile, obviously, she backs it up with every photo she posts, right? So she's not posting like stuff on here that isn't that niche. It is very much following that lead. So, okay. I think we went way over in time, but this was amazing. Pros, if you guys want to we could do like a workshop for this as well, where you actually pull up your Instagram, you could ask questions. I'm happy to do that with you. Just let me know. And then also let me know about, we're going to have a few different ones in January. I'm going to see if I can get a money mindset woman on here and a limiting beliefs woman on here. Julie, I'm going to have Julie do one of these in January, I think. So, so stay tuned. We'll have more. And yeah, definitely happy to go over it. Patricia, if you want to stay on, we can go over it now. You're working. Sorry. I forgot, but let me know, Patricia, and we can hop on and go over things too. So, all right, guys, well, thank you so much. And
Thanks,
thank you, Holly. This was amazing, guys. Go give Holly a big shout out, and we will talk to you guys later.
Bye.